The lawyer adjusted his glasses and looked around the room. 3 pairs of eyes stared back at him, each one filled with confidence, each one expecting the same thing: millions of dollars. After all, their father was one of the richest men in the state. When Charles Whitmore died at the age of 81, he left behind a fortune worth nearly $300 million. His children had spent years waiting for this moment. Now it had finally arrived. The lawyer opened the will. The beneficiaries of Charles Whitmore's estate are listed as follows. Sophia smiled. Her brother Ethan leaned back comfortably in his chair. Their younger sister Olivia folded her arms. The lawyer continued reading. The Whitmore mansion shall not pass to any of the children. The smiles disappeared. The investment accounts shall not pass to any of the children. Ethan frowned. What? The lawyer continued. The company's controlling shares shall not pass to any of the children. The room froze. Sophia looked confused. Olivia sat upright. Ethan laughed nervously. This is a joke. The lawyer looked directly at them. It is not. Silence filled the room. Then came the sentence that changed everything. The entirety of Charles Whitmore's personal fortune shall be inherited by... The lawyer paused. Everyone leaned forward. Miss Lily Carter. Nobody spoke. Before we find out why a billionaire left his entire fortune to a waitress instead of his own children, make sure to subscribe to Echoed Mind Stories and turn on notifications. We bring you powerful stories about family, betrayal, forgiveness, and life-changing moments that stay with you long after the story ends. Now, let's discover who Lily Carter really was. The lawyer repeated the name. Lily Carter. Sophia blinked. Who? Ethan stood up. Who is Lily Carter? Olivia looked around the room. No one knew. The lawyer calmly turned another page. Miss Lily Carter is employed as a waitress at Harper's restaurant. The room exploded. A waitress? Ethan shouted. Sophia slammed her hand on the table. This is insane. Olivia shook her head. There must be some mistake. But there wasn't. The lawyer handed them a signed copy of the will. Everything was legal. Everything was real. And somehow their father's fortune belonged to a waitress. Hours later, they finally met her. Lily Carter stood quietly outside the lawyer's office. She looked completely overwhelmed, 28 years old, simple clothing. No designer handbags, no expensive jewelry. Nothing about her suggested wealth. She looked as shocked as everyone else. The moment Ethan saw her, he lost his temper. You manipulated him. Lily looked confused. What? You tricked our father. I barely knew your father. The room went silent. The lawyer nodded. That is true. Sophia stared. Then why would he leave everything to you? Lily's eyes filled with tears. I don't know. The lawyer cleared his throat. There is another letter. The room immediately grew still. Charles Whitmore had left instructions. The lawyer unfolded the paper. My children. Even after his death, his voice seemed present. If you are hearing this, you are probably angry. Nobody denied it, the lawyer continued. You believe a stranger stole what belonged to you. Ethan crossed his arms. Sophia looked away. Olivia stared at the floor. You are wrong. The lawyer paused. Lily earned something none of you wanted. Silence, the letter continued. 3 years ago, I walked into Harper's restaurant alone. Sophia frowned. I was recovering from surgery. The lawyer continued reading. I was weak, frightened, and unsure how much time I had left. The room listened carefully. I spent nearly 2 hours there. Another pause. Not one customer knew who I was. Then came the revelation. Neither did Lily, the lawyer continued. She served me coffee. Simple, nothing extraordinary. But Charles saw something. She noticed my hands shaking. Lily wiped away tears. The lawyer continued. She sat beside me during her break. Nobody spoke. She asked if I was okay. The room remained silent. She listened. Sophia slowly lowered her head. The lawyer continued. After that day, she checked on me every week. Ethan's anger began fading. Sometimes she brought food. Sometimes she simply talked. Lily quietly cried. The lawyer read on. She never asked for money. She never asked for favors. She never even knew who I was. The room became silent. Then came the hardest part. I waited for my children to visit. Nobody moved. I waited during birthdays. I waited during holidays. I waited during hospital stays. Sophia started crying. Ethan looked away. Olivia wiped her eyes. But everyone was busy. The words hit harder than any insult. The lawyer continued. I do not hate my children. The room relaxed slightly. I love them. But somewhere along the way, we stopped being a family. The silence became unbearable. Then came another surprise. The lawyer looked up. There is more. Everyone stared. Charles had included a final instruction. My children may receive their inheritance. Ethan looked shocked. Sophia sat upright. Olivia held her breath. The lawyer continued, but only if Lily agrees. Everyone turned toward her. Lily looked stunned. What? The lawyer handed her another envelope. Inside was a handwritten note. Charles's final request. Lily read silently. Tears streamed down her face. What does it say? Olivia asked. Lily struggled to speak. Finally, she whispered, he asked me to decide whether his children deserve a second chance. The room froze. Nobody expected that. Not the lawyer, not the children, not even Lily. For several minutes nobody spoke. Then something unexpected happened. Sophia stood. She walked across the room and apologized. Not for the money, for the years, the birthdays she missed, the phone calls she ignored, the father she neglected. Soon Olivia joined her, then Ethan. For the first time in years, nobody argued. Nobody demanded money. Nobody complained. They simply cried. Together, weeks passed. Lily thought carefully about Charles's request. Eventually, she made her decision. The family gathered once more. The lawyer waited patiently. Lily stood, holding the envelope. Her hands trembled. Finally, she smiled. I think your father wanted to see whether you could become a family again. Nobody moved. I believe you can. Then she handed them the inheritance, every penny. The room fell silent. Sophia stared. Ethan looked speechless. Olivia cried. You could have kept everything, Ethan said. Lily smiled softly. I already received the greatest gift. What gift? She looked toward a photograph of Charles, a father. Months later, the Whitmore family established a charitable foundation in Charles's name, and Lily became part of the family. Not because she inherited a fortune, but because she gave them something they thought they had lost forever, a second chance. And in the end, Charles Whitmore's greatest investment was never his money. It was the kindness of a waitress who reminded a broken family what love looked like. If this story touched your heart, let us know in the comments. Do you think Charles made the right decision by leaving his fortune to Lily? And if you enjoy emotional stories with powerful life lessons, don't forget to subscribe to Echoed Mind Stories for more unforgettable stories every week. Until next time, remember, sometimes the greatest inheritance isn't money. It's the love we leave behind.